Yo, what is up guys? In today's video, we're actually going to be creating something that a viewer suggested in the Discord. So let's just take a look at what Batman sent in the Discord that he wanted us to create.
Like, you need problems. If you get everything you want the minute you want it, what's the...
Okay, so it's sort of like this cinematic borders, but then the text will also appear sort of randomly. Let's take a look at this one as well.
You have no fucking idea how great you really are, because you are using such minimal of what you have.
Yeah, okay, so I think I'm pretty much set on what I need to see to be able to create this. Okay, so the first thing that you need to add is the black video inside of your Premiere Pro project. So I'm just going to be creating this in the resolution 1080 by 1920, which is obviously the short format resolution. And once I've done that, I'm going to be selecting this rectangle tool and just creating this square. It needs to be sort of in the center, so I'm going to be just adjusting it by holding Control, and as you guys can see, then it will stick. But I'm turning up the size also a bit, so I'm just figuring out what works. But it's important that it's not too big and it's not too small, so just hold Control to find the sticking points. And what we want to do now is go to the essential graphics and make sure that the fill color is on white. And then let's round the borders and take the value to 100. Now I'm also going to be adding some noise, which is basically just grain, and it just really gives this static look, as you guys can see. I like to put the value on about 20, so it's sort of subtle, but it's still there. And then I'm also going to be, you can add these sort of roughen edges if you want, but that's an extra step. You don't have to do that. I'm not going to do that. So once you're done with that, just select both of these layers and then just nest them into one sequence. Okay, so we're now bringing in the footage that we will be using in this TikTok. So I'm just going to be cutting this up when he starts speaking, and then we're going to get started on how we can get this underneath the borders. But it's a pretty simple process. You just need to have the nested overlay on top. So let me just get that on top and drag this down, and then you can go to inside of the nest composition, and then you need to drag these out so it fits all of your footage. And once you have done that, you can really just put the opacity of the nested sequence to multiply, and then go to the bottom layer and just scale it up, and just like that you have it done. So it's very simple to do this, so just remember to put it on multiply on the opacity on the nested sequence. Now I'm just adding my music, this is probably copyrighted. It's not the best for YouTube, but this is one of the most popular songs. And what I'm doing now is that I'm cutting down the footage where the drop will be, so we will be adding B-roll there. But before we do that, we need to add some text. So I'm using the Michaela font with bold and using the color red. This is a super cinematic and sort of adventurous font, which I really like. So I'm just starting by aligning the eye here, and then I'm just duplicating 4 layers of the text. As you guys can see now, I'm just changing them out, the text. So just like that, I'm just using some time on where I want to place them, and etc. So now we have the third one. We're gonna write this and then duplicate one more. I love this game, and underneath the game we will have this little underline, which you can simply get by just going down to the settings. Let me show you guys that in a second. Yes, you guys see here, and then just double pressing the text and then pressing on this little icon, and now you have this underline, which is so often used, but this doesn't look that good yet, so we need to just reposition this so it fits sort of perfectly. But you can just have the text wherever you want. It's so personal. And then I'm going to be actually cutting it up so it comes in perfectly. So I'm just listening to the audio, and then I'm just dragging it in perfectly. So we're gonna get sort of like this staircase with our layers.
This game.
And then I'm just cutting all of them. And once you're happy with it, and just deleting that.
I love this game.
And now I'm just adjusting it a tiny tad. So
I love this. I love this.
But yeah, we need some glow as well on our text. which
I
is,
love-
you know, it's one of the biggest things. So I'm
I
searching
love
for the
it.
VR glow under the immersive video, drag and drop that on the eye. When it's single letters, the glow might be a bit too bright for, you know, the longer words. So I'm using different glow settings on this eye and the longer words. But, you know, just get the feel for what works and change around with the settings and the glow radius and the glow brightness, and you should be good. But the luma threshold I like to put on 0. And then just don't have this use tint color ticked on. Just let it use nothing. So yeah, once I'm happy with that, I'm just going to be copying the VR glow over to the other text, and it's too bright here, so I'm just adjusting it so it will fit all of our words. So I'm going to be turning the glow brightness to 1.5. That looks nice. So once I'm happy with that, just copy the glow onto all of the other text layers.
I love
Right,
this.
so let's get started on the second text animation. I'm just copying this in, and then we're going to do the same process, just matching up when it says things. For this animation, we're just going to do an opacity thing, so you can sort of see through. And it's important to remember that you need to nest all of your layers to be able to do this pretty nice. I just have the opacity on normal when I do this effect, but you can put it on overlay, but it really depends on the background. But if you put it on overlay, you get better results, but I don't have the background for that as of now. So I'm just putting the opacity to 10 on a normal, so you get sort of this see-through.
I live.
And that is basically that, you know. Now, the most exciting effect is the echo effect. So make sure the VR glow is on top of the echo, so we don't get this error with the GPU. Now, how do you do this? Well, you need to start off by creating a scaling animation. So we're just gonna be putting the first scale on 50, go some frames forward, go up to about 100, then we can do, let's do like 110. Now, you need to just space this out so you get a more smooth animation. And as you guys can see, we also need to put them on easy in. And now you guys can see that there is sort of like an echo effect here, but we want to get that a bit more. So we're just adding the number of echoes, and you can see that really just strengthens it a lot. So just play around with those settings, but that is how you do that effect as well. Now for the B-roll.
But are you obsessed?
As you guys can see, and when the music sort of drops, then we need our music to come in. So we're just cutting out the overlay part here because we need it to be black for a second. And then coming with the B-roll. So doing the same procedure, this underneath, putting the first layer on multiply, scaling it up, and then you have it. That is basically it. So I hope that you like this video, and leave a like and subscribe. And if you guys want to, you know, see other things on how people go viral on TikTok or Instagram, how they edit their videos, just shoot me a message in the Discord, and I will gladly help you guys out with creating it. Peace.